million-dollar horse right here.
Question. When you have no money, how do you buy a horse that's worth more than $1 million? Keep watching, you'll find out how.
My horse.
Yeah, look, I think I'm getting a bit of a theme going on here. Every horse is your horse. Do I get one?
Maybe.
Yeah, well, I've been given one, the deaf one. But I shouldn't complain because he's the best one. So anyway.
No, they're all lovely, but Hamish really isn't my horse. Bella has claimed him.
All the kids have claimed a horse. Just like, no, he's mine. Yeah. He's mine. That's mine.
The team at The Life is more than just Craig and Nicole. Meet our eldest daughter.
I'm Bella.
How you doing?
Good, how are you?
Not too bad.
My mum first showed us the picture of Hamish and she said, oh, this is a horse that we're looking at. I said, he's mine. That was the first thing that I'd said about him. I said, he's mine. I'm having him.
You claimed him from the beginning, huh?
From the beginning, I hadn't even met him yet. And then on the day that we went to pick him up, immediately I went, yep, he's mine.
So, this horse here,
He did catch my eye, though.
well, let's just have a bit of a recap on that one, shall we?
Yeah.
As we've indicated in the past, Clydesdales in Australia are hard to find. In fact, it took us, for the 5 that we have at the moment, it took us more than 2 years to find them. And that was pretty diligent looking. Now, that's not because there's no Clydesdales in Australia. Yes, the numbers are low, but we're pretty fussy. We had a pretty specific checklist. So unless the horse ticked the boxes, we just didn't pursue it.
Yeah.
So it did become a little bit frustrating, a little bit discouraging. Look, can't find. And so I guess Nick did the next best thing. She resorted to looking at pictures of horses that weren't for sale.
And videos.
Yeah. Just, I need to find me another horse.
Specifically at the time, we were looking for another horse to match Maurice, if you remember.
Yeah.
Because she was our first horse, we needed another. At the time, we thought we were only after maybe 2 or 3 horses. So we were looking for a darker colour, a darker bay, with the 4 stockings like Maurice and a blaze. So that, with the temperament to match Maurice's as well.
And at that stage, they had to be fully trained.
Yeah.
Broken to saddle, broken to harness.
Yeah. So as Craig has mentioned, the pickings were pretty slim at that time.
Yeah.
So I went hunting on some heavy horse show videos and the local shows. Anyway, the Gatton show.
Well, we would go to shows and we'd wander around the stables where the horses were being held before they went out on display or in harness or in work or whatever.
Yeah.
Would you like this horse? This horse be any good? Is that horse all right?
They're boring.
And then we'd try and find an owner. Excuse me, would you sell us your horse?
This is true.
And we did that once or twice.
Yes. And to no avail.
No.
It didn't work, although there were some really nice There were some really nice horses. I remember Cooper did catch my eye.
Yes.
He was a cute. So anyway, I had just recently seen a video, and this fine gentleman was in the video. So I took a screenshot of Hamish, and so we sent it off. I sent that photo off to a gentleman that's very well known in the heavy horse world, sent the message off and got the reply, "Oh yeah, I know who that horse is. That's Hamish." And not even $1 million would buy him.
So my response was, there's your answer. Keep looking. But you never gave up the whole time. Every conversation we'd have about, I still can't find another horse. Oh, yeah, I still like Hamish. I still like Hamish.
I just had this thing in my head that Hamish, I don't know, there was something about Hamish, and I just thought, yep, he's going to end up at our place with us. But
you weren't playing the lottery.
No. I just had that feeling, that thought, that whatever you want to call that, the instinct. I don't know, that Hamish.
Instinct.
No,
You've got
I
instinct.
do.
Let's leave that one alone. Moving on.
A sixth sense. Or horse instinct, maybe.
No comment.
That's what it is.
No comment.
A horse instinct. Anyway, this boy, 6 months later.
The owner contacted us, and would you believe she said, I heard that you might be interested in buying Hamish. Are you still interested? And I tell you what, if ever you fell off a chair, or if ever you had cause to fall off a chair, that was it.
Or like shout really, really loud and as quick as I could, yes!
The reason why Hamish was never for sale was it was very evident to us that he was the owner's heart horse.
He's an exceptional horse.
For anybody who has a heart horse, you know that money is not what's going to do anything to change that.
Yeah.
And that when you have that horse, it's never going to be for sale. It just doesn't matter. So Hamish was a heart horse. And it wasn't hard to understand why, because we found out through that period that he'd spent time going into nursing homes.
And hospitals.
In hospitals, not because he was sick. He would be smuggled in the back door, literally smuggled in the back door.
When the managers weren't.
When the managers weren't there. And the patients would line the corridor in their chairs, and Hamish would walk in.
Yeah.
Let in, and he would just give them the most rewarding experience that many of them had ever had. When you imagine being bedridden, and because a lot of them were elderly,
Yeah.
and this massive horse walks in and puts his nose in your lap and allows you to pat him. It's an experience that I imagine for all of them will never ever be forgotten.
The term gentle giant is not accurate for Hamish.
No, it doesn't go far enough.
It doesn't. It's an understatement because, as you can see here, he's exceptionally gentle.
Yeah.
He's a gentle man. He's a gentle horse. He's just unbelievably calm, and he just has this character, personality, I don't know what you call it.
Yeah.
This nature about him that is so beautiful.
Yeah.
And not only is that attributed to the breed, but most of that was because of his previous owner's training.
Yeah.
The time and the effort and everything that she put into Hamish was more than 100%. She gave him everything.
It's often understood that even with any animal, that the animal would take on the personality of their owner. So if the owner is unsettled for whatever reason, the animal, be it a cat, dog, horse, becomes unsettled as well. It's almost like they mimic the behaviour of their owner. So Hamish is very, very calm, very loving, very chill attitude.
Very giving.
Was a very accurate representation of his owner. He had taken on all the attributes that his owner displayed.
Absolutely.
And that is testament to her. She had done a fantastic job with him, and you could tell that there was this bond. And so the fact that we got this telephone call saying, would you be interested, was a surprise, because it's not the sort of horse that you would ever expect to come up for sale. And he's not old either. Hamish is only...
He's 8 this year.
He's 8 this year, so he's still at the beginning of his prime, not in the middle, at the beginning. And yes, he's a big horse. He stands 16.3.
Oh, no, 17.
17.
Yeah.
He's 17 hands high, and I think he's probably about 18 hands wide. So he's just a
He's our tank.
He's a big horse.
He's our tank. And he loves his food, and that's okay by us. To be perfectly honest with you, it was an answer to prayer.
Yeah.
That's how Hamish came along. He's our prayer horse. We've prayed about all of them, but we had no way of interacting with his previous owner prior to him coming up for sale, because we didn't have her details. So we couldn't get to ask her about him.
Yeah.
We did ask the gentleman, but he didn't pass on any message, because he knew that Hamish wasn't for sale. But so
And
we
we-
prayed, and God answered.
We don't make a practice of buying a horse by picture, by the way.
No.
Even although we'd seen a picture, the response that we'd got from the middle person who knew us and who knew Hamish
Yeah.
recognised that he would be a perfect fit for us.
Absolutely.
So even when the call came, are you interested? Our answer was a definite yes, we are. And I think it was only a matter of moments before we jumped in the car and took off to go where he was and meet him.
Yeah. So it was only 3 hours?
3 hours away from where we are.
Yeah.
And when we saw him, we only had to spend half an hour to an hour with him to realise that yes.
And I just fell in love with him the instant that I got out of the car.
So that a few days later there was another grand parade we're going, and I, went in harness in the spring park.
So at the end of the meeting period, we said to the owner, yes, look, we'd love to take him, but the challenge is we don't have any money at the moment. So as with all of our horses, they're a faith journey. And so we let her know that, but there was a bond that we were able to create with her.
Yeah.
And I think she thankfully saw the genuineness in us and was more than happy to work with us until we were able to find the money to purchase him. And it was not that long later, a few months later, that we were able to contact her and say, we have the money.
Yeah.
We're coming to get him.
The destination is on your left. Arrived.
Oh, yes. Yep.
The biggest size ever.
Aren't they huge?
Look how big they are. I found his nameplate,
Oh, wow.
and it hangs on the collar,
Yeah, awesome.
and that's a slinky body rug and hood.
You'll be good. We'll
You know where he is.
Anytime, honestly. Anytime you want to
You
come
go for a drive or something.
find yourself out on the sunny coast there, you can call on in. You'll be good.
All right, you say goodbye. Got your undies, you got your everything.
Got your pink ribbon.
That's it, we got the ribbons, we got the name tag.
The drive to pick up Hamish was about 3 hours. He was located in the beautiful Darling Downs district of southeast Queensland. The pleasant drive was a precursor to the kindness and generosity displayed by Tamar, Hamish's owner. Along with his personal belongings came a working sled, 2 working ploughs, as well as a single harness set and a collar and hames. All very useful for a team like us who is just starting their journey with draft horses. The trip home was as good as could be hoped for. It was so nice to see Hamish meet his new paddock buddies, Hope and Maurice.
There's a time when parents aren't right and the children are. Parents don't really like to admit it that often, but it's true.
Just so we understand, the kids won't be watching this video, will they?
We won't tell them.
Right.
Yeah.
So you keep going. Sorry, I just had to... bit of housekeeping there.
Montana came to us one morning and she said, I think something's wrong with Hamish. He was laying down and there was food there, but he was still laying down. He wasn't really interested in his food. And I went, oh, all right, let's go and have a look. When I got down to the paddock, he was fine. He was eating. There didn't seem to be a problem. She was like, yeah, well, he's not. So I pretended that I knew what I was doing. Listening to sounds, no, everything sounds all right. No, I think he's fine.
The basis for that is Hamish doesn't come by his size accidentally. He has an absolute passion for food.
Yeah, loves his food.
So if there's food around, all of the other horses will be sleeping. Hamish won't. He'll be eating.
Most of the time. But it was breakfast time, so she just fed them.
Yeah.
And it was out of character for him to just want to go and lay back down. So anyway, I said, well, let's just monitor him, huh? I think he'll be fine. And then the next day, I did take notice that one of his drop-ins were
A little bit loose.
Yeah, didn't seem right, but it didn't seem bad either. So I was in between. I said, we'll just keep an eye on him. So was it the next day?
Yeah, no, that was the Monday, and there was a day in the middle, and then the farrier came. It was farrier day.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So farrier day is bring all the horses over to the stables.
Yeah.
And one by one, we go through each of them. And it doesn't take us long because most of them aren't shod. So Hamish was standing basically here, actually. He was tied up to this rail. He was the last one. And while the others were coming through, I had noticed that he was dancing around the post because there's a tie point here, and he was dancing around the post.
Backwards and forwards.
Yeah, but every action suggested to me he wanted to try and lie down. And that's not normal, especially because there was activity and he was not in a sleep period. Yeah. And especially when they're tired, the horse is just going, I'm stuck here, I can't lie down. But he was not interested in, I'm stuck, I've got to go down because I want to rest.
Usually Hamish doesn't mind standing all day long. If you were to tie him, he'd just stand there happily.
Just like he is now.
Yeah. Although he does a little sore foot.
Yeah. So we took him over to his turn, and he was fine.
He started coming right up into the stable first and right behind Ben, remember?
Yeah.
He was just unusually close or something. We didn't... Yeah.
But anyway, he stood there fine for the farrier, as he always does. He's very good when he has his feet done. So he stood there, and then that was finished. And so then it was clean up time. We'd put him just outside the stables, and he wasn't out the door more than probably 30 seconds. And he was trying to go down on his he wanted to lie down.
Yeah.
And at that point, I sort of had a bit of a lump in my throat because I'm thinking something's not right here.
Well, he'd just done a poo and it was really sloppy, really kind of runny, problem poo, I would say.
And Ben, the farrier, you could tell that his face was, what's happening here, even though he didn't say anything. But the process or the time between that and when he jumped in his car was quite quick, and we said we better go and see. I said to Nick, you better go and ring the vet because this is not right. And Ben looked at us and said, yeah, I would too. Something's not adding up with all of this. So you went up and...
So I called the vet and they said, this because it was about midday, and they said, we'll be there. The quickest we can get there is in about 3 hours. Just keep him walking. And if he can walk, just keep him walking. If he gets tired, let him lay down to rest, but don't let him roll. Now, it's easy for Hamish not to roll because of the size of him. It's easy for him to lay down and to get up, but to actually roll and to thrash his body around, he couldn't do that anyway. He may have wanted to because, I was definitely thinking it could have been a colic happening because he was uncomfortable. However, he had a lot of gut noise, and sometimes they say with colic, well, most times that the gut goes really quiet, but his was abnormally loud.
Anybody who knows a little bit about horses and colic will realise that the moment a horse goes down and starts to try and roll, that it's a very bad sign. And it's not uncommon for a horse to pass away because of colic. The irritation that's in the gut area causes them to want to roll, and then that can then turn to a twisted bowel. And once that happens, it's especially on a big horse, because the only way you can rectify that is with open surgery, and they just don't react well to that.
Colic and twisted bowel are two different things, but
they can blend into one.
Blend into one.
Anyway, short story is colic is bad. Very, very bad.
And it appeared that he was having a bout of colic. So Montana and I just quickly got him up again because he was flat out. He was lying flat out. He was tired. He was snoring.
Confronting
Yes.
when you know a horse shouldn't be down and you look at them and they're just absolutely motionless. The only saving grace was that, yes, he was snoring.
He snores. He loves it.
Otherwise, if you didn't hear that and you just see the picture, you would be going, oh no, that horse is...
So anyway, we had him walking around in the paddock, and it was about half an hour. I kept ringing the vet. I was like, how long? And just to say, he's not improving. I think he's getting worse. I just wanted to know that vet was going to be coming really soon, because he wasn't drinking, he wasn't eating, he just wanted to keep laying down. He would follow, as Tanner was walking in, he would follow. But then he got to a stage where all of a sudden he would just drop, and she would look around and go, oh, I can't drag him. So he would just literally drop, and
he didn't want to get up.
He didn't want to get up, and we had to keep him. We'd let him lay down for a few minutes, and then we'd encourage him to get back up again, and we kept him walking. So it was about half an hour before the vet had arrived, and he made this almighty noise. It come from his gut or his butt. Tanner and I didn't know, but we looked at each other and went, what was that?
Was that similar to the noises that I hear at night?
If it's from the horses when you're down here, maybe, because they like to pass gas. Kind of like you, passing gas all the time. I got it.
I wasn't. I was going to let that one go through to the keeper. But
you were trying.
Anyway, yes, my system works well.
Yeah, so does mine. So, anyway.
I was up at the house because we didn't have phone service, so we don't have phone service down here. So it took about 3 hours for the vet to come.
Yeah.
And that's no disrespect to the vet. They had schedule and they were busy and dealing with other emergencies. And so that was the...
They told me they could make it anyway.
Right.
So it was just giving me a list of things to do until they got here. Well, anyway, half an hour before the vet got here, this almighty noise came out. And then he started to graze a little bit. So he seems to be improving, and we're just still waiting for the vet. So we're praising God at the moment, and hopefully it's nothing too serious. We'll see what the vet says about him, but he's had some water he drank, which was really good, and he's now nibbling. nibbling on the grass. He's done a wee. All these little things that I'm thankful for. He sits by you. So the vet has just been, we didn't take any video of that just because of privacy reasons, but he started grazing like half an hour before the vet came, which she said is a really good sign. So we were like, yay. Anyway, she said it might just be like a gastro type of a thing. So she's given him a little bit of pain relief and also this product called BioSponge. So we give it, yes, it's going to be for you. We give him 2 scoops of a morning and night just until the bag's finished or until his stool firms up. She said as soon as it firms up, don't give him any more because we don't want him to go in the opposite direction of that. So she was lovely. Just gave him a bit of pain relief for his, whatever his little gut pain is. Yeah. And she's looked him over, checked him over, took some blood, just so she's going to do a non-specific blood test.
Looking for infections.
Looking for infections that could cause diarrhea. So, yeah, we'll wait to hear back and she's going to ring us back tonight apparently, which is really good with that. But otherwise, we just monitor him and see how he goes. But all in all, I think he's going to be okay, and we praise the Lord for that because prayer is powerful. He was starting to come good before the vet, so we know that God is actually healing him and had his hand on him. So we're very thankful. Praising the Lord. You remember when you were a chopper?
I do, when I gave up the rake.
Why were you chopping?
I had to trim a tree which we believe is a strawberry guava tree. And we think it gets its name from the size of the fruit, strawberry size. And the reason I was trimming it was it had fruited this season like it had never fruited before. And the horses, especially Hamish, had taken a fancy to it. They didn't mind the flavour at all. So not only were they cleaning the fruit up off the tree, but they were licking the fruit up off the ground.
Hamish was especially.
Yeah, he was the diligent cleaner.
He was.
And he said to the others, just you move away, let me clean this up for you.
Not only was he cleaning the good fruit up, he was also cleaning up the fermented fruit that was on the ground, and it continued to ferment in his tummy, which in turn made it seem like he was
drunk. So, yes, he was probably a keg. So we think what happened a couple of days before when Montana had shared some concerns that he'd already had a good dose of them and was actually a little bit woozy, shall we say, a bit hungover.
Well, because she kept saying he looks like he's like on drugs or something.
Yeah.
Still, he's just not himself. He looked, the only way that you could describe it was like he was either drugged or drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we have a strong suspicion. And look, the truth is we're never really going to know. But as you can see, he's back to normal again. There's no health issue with him. So we're very thankful for that. But the fact that now the tree has gone.
Hamish is waiting there for any fruit to drop. He's like, I'll clean it up for you. No, Hamish. Is it done?
Yeah. Don't ever use a blunt chain. That's a bad advertisement.
Huh?
A blunt chain is a dangerous chain.
Why do you use it then?
Because I could be going to change it.
Oh, dear me.
I thought I had my good chain on it, but if that's my good chain, we've got problems. I'm starting to smell the
fermented fruit?
Yeah.
And that would have been fermenting in his gut.
Yeah. So it's good we move it on. Did you want to do it? There's a very strong sense of cause and effect here. He ate the fruit and that
The forbidden fruit.
Yeah. Well, But unfortunately, if we had left it there, he would have gone back. He would have gone back for another bite.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're very thankful for that, because it's never nice for any animal to be in discomfort. And when there's a risk of losing the animal, especially given the circumstances, to have him pull through and to be back to normal, full health again is a relief. So we're very thankful. So the keg is back.
The keg is back. Or is it really, he's the tank? He's our tank.
He's our tank on legs.
Yeah. Oh, my $1 million baby.
He's worth every cent
Absolutely.
in food. He's probably eaten $1 million worth of food to get this big.
Yeah, true that.
We said last video we hope we wouldn't have to bring you another flood video.
Oh, yeah.
Well, today we can say we hope we don't have to bring you another horse down video.
Oh, yeah, that's never fun. Never.
No, I don't like our chances though.
It's life.
Yeah.
Yeah. We go
Looking after animals is never plain sailing.
humans and animals.
Yeah. We've got all of that going on here.
Yeah. But anyway, we need this channel. We need to look after the channel.
Oh, yeah.
And we need it to go like viral.
We don't want to let it go down.
No. So what we need you to do is share this channel far and wide as possible with all your family, friends and your community.
Absolutely.
And make sure you subscribe.
Yep, just hit any button that's down there. Any button you can find, just hit it.
Whatever it is.
Hit it twice, 3 times, it doesn't matter. Just keep hitting it. Smash it.
And make sure you watch all of our other videos as well.
Yeah.
Another big thing is please leave comments. You know, if you've got any questions or just comments, whatever. Apparently that helps to make the YouTube algorithm do its thing.
And then what do you keep on saying? Then why we enjoy the journey together?
Yes.
Well, there you
So
go.
we can enjoy the journey together.
Excellent.
Can I do it this time?
All right, can you?
I think so.
Give it a go.
May his love be known.
And his grace be shown. We want to share a sad update to video on Hamish. While we were in the edit phase, just after we'd filmed it, we learnt some very sad news. And to be honest, we still have a lump in our throat and a knot in our stomach. Hamish's owner, previous owner, Tamar, such a lovely, lovely person, had passed away. Life had just become too much, and she was unable to bear it any longer. And in some ways, we wanted this to be a memory to what she had done with Hamish. All of her community knew who Hamish was. He was such a special horse. Weren't you, mate? They knew him because of his kind heart, his gentle nature. And he just matched the unconditional love that Tamar gave to everybody around her. So the world is a poorer place because she is no longer with us. But we are also very thankful because we have the opportunity to make sure that the legacy that Hamish began continues in the work that we do. And to be really honest, it motivates me more than anything else to push forward. We don't have the means to make this project happen. God does. But it's times like this where our strength is fortified. Because we know that there are many the world over who are dying without the knowledge and the love of Jesus. And that breaks our heart. We're going to keep on doing the work that she did with this special horse. And we just pray that he will be able to continue impacting the lives and the hearts of many people in the things that we do with him. So we simply share this in memory of Tamar.